All right, welcome everyone to Know Nothing Garage. Thank you for joining today. I have another project that I know nothing about. One update, tires are still up there. I have a ratchet strap, they're still holding. That's good news for me, so it doesn't crush my wife's car or, you know, a gas line or water line or something like that. But today's focus is the 2006 Honda Pilot. Other update, no water in the lights, so that is awesome. But the focus today is on this middle seat. So this car, as I think I've told you guys before, was owned actually by my in-laws, and they bought it brand new from the dealership with 60 miles on it. It now has about 190,000 miles. It's an awesome car, it's comfortable. But one thing that my wife mentioned to me is that this middle seat is not very comfortable. She said it's hard, and I don't know, it's hard to see on camera, but it almost sags just a little bit. And she told me, she was like, yeah, when I was like 10 years old or something like that, I jumped into the seat and we heard like a pop or something like that, and the seats felt like that ever since. And I was like, okay. So this car is, how old is it? This car is 14 years old, so that probably happened, I don't even know, at least 10 years ago, depending on how old she was, but it's been at least 10 years and probably 150 plus thousand miles. And nobody ever fixed it, which is fine. They probably forgot about it. I took a quick look under there, and it appears that I think the springs just popped off of where they're supposed to be. So it should be as easy as unbolting this seat, flipping it over, attaching it back, and flipping it back. That should be a good angle for you guys. Whew. Okay, this seat weighs a ton. Well, hopefully that angle was cool. Whew, okay, so seat is up. I kind of want to flip it all the way over, but first I was going to show you guys this on a Honda Pilot is actually where the fuel tank is, and this is actually where the fuel filter is as well. Honda puts the fuel filter inside the tank with the unit, so you have to cut this carpet. You can see they perforated it, so you already know where to cut it. You cut all this back, you take this plate off, and access the fuel tank from here. So that is fun. Here is our culprit. Look at that. All of these springs are off. So let me see if I can get this thing flipped over, and we'll start working on it. All right, unit is flipped over. Good on Honda. This thing weighs a ton. You can see how sturdy this back bar is. Like, this seat is not going anywhere, but I'm seeing a few things. I'm seeing a pencil that someone snapped in half in the unit. It looks like this is supposed to connect somewhere down here, but the whole seat and everything is pushed down, so I'm not exactly sure what to do yet, but I'm going to play around with it a little and just kind of investigate, and I'll give you guys an update. Okay, so I have an update. I was able to get this out, and this is the grid that goes underneath all the seat padding that attaches this spring here to the seat. So that's what kind of gives it a little bit of cushioniness. We have an issue. There's supposed to be 2 of these and we only have 1. Who knows when the other one was lost, when it was removed from the vehicle. I searched under all the seats thoroughly and I can't find it, which means at some point when someone was cleaning the car, they probably took it out. I have an idea of how I can maybe rig up something. It won't be a spring, but if I can have this on one side and something on the other side, at least that'll keep this grid in place, because what's happening is there's so much tension on this side, it's pulling this whole grid to that side, and it's, as you can see, messing all these up. So I need to fix all of these, get them back where they're supposed to be. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so these springs are very stiff. These aren't even springs, it's just a wire grid. They don't want to stay on very well, but what I was able to do was bend the ends and then just rotate it out, because even with the ends bent, they were still just sliding off the end, but I rotated them away, so now the springs, or these pieces of wire, can't come off. So that should hold. This has to go back in here, and I think on those 2 pieces. Okay, so now I just need to attach it on both ends and we'll be good to go. All right, guys, I did it, and man, is it not pretty. If I had one of those springs, actually, if I had one of those springs, it would be harder, because these springs are under so much tension. Getting them on one at a time would be almost impossible. They obviously do it with a machine at the factory. So I got this one back on and it was not easy. But what I have over here is my jerry-rigged version. So what we have is this clip thing that I had. Not really sure. It's for like a leash or something of that type. And then I have this hose clamp that I undid, strung through here, and then I can tighten and loosen it based on how springy this is. But as you can see, I did get it all squared away. I got this attached back in here. And like I said, I have these facing away so that the little springs can't come off, or these wires, I mean. So it's really not pretty, but it should hold. And that's kind of the most important part. So now I just need to flip it back over and bolt it back in, and that should be everything. We'll test it out and see if it feels any different at all. Okay, I just got everything back in, the plastic covers, the carpet that was back here. I couldn't really film it because I kept having to move these seats forward and back over and over again. So, should we give it a try? Now, the hard thing is, this isn't really a comfortable seat anyways, because it has this pull down cup holder thing. So it's not a very comfortable seat on a regular day, but it was extra bad before. And that actually is better. Yeah, this is actually comfortable, because before there was nothing holding the foam up, so you would just kind of sink down into the seat. So I would call that a success. And with that, that is going to be all I have for you guys. So I learned something. I learned that I wish I had a spring that would fix that, but we made it work, and with how little that seat gets used, that'll be fine. When we have kids, they'll be very light and small, so I'm not worried about that. Thank you guys for joining. Please click the subscribe button, like this video, turn on the notifications for more videos coming soon that I have planned, and I'll see you guys in the next one.